With 1.8, the last part of this lesson, we're going to just look at how to add in different bases. So we can compare with how base 10 works. Okay. So we're going to add in different bases. So it's oops. This one. Oops. Okay. So we're adding in other bases with models. Okay, we're going to just stick with models, chip models, and base block models. Okay. It gets fun when you do it more abstractly, but I don't think that's in the course. But anyway, let's start with an example. We want to show how to add 43 base 5 plus 24 base 5 with the chip model. Okay, and I had you guys make chip models. You can do that, but for time's sake, we're going to just show a diagram. Okay, so when we add 43 and 24 with our chip models, I'm going to model 4 3 base 5 and 2 4 base 5. So here's our chip model. This will be the ones place, 5 to the 0 power, or the leftovers. Okay. That's this place right here at the end. We also have the 5s place, which is 5 to the 1. We also have the 25s place, which is 5 to squared. Okay. I think that that's as many places as we need to diagram out. So first we model our 4 3 base 5, sorry. So we have 4 dots here. Okay. And 3 dots here. And they're chips. Okay. So that's 4 3 base 5. So I'm going to write that down here. And then kind of give some space for some work and combining. And I'm going to model 2 4 base 5 down here. So 2 4 base 5. Now when we're going to add them together, adding is combining. Okay, so I'm going to group them together with just like loops and stuff. We can group with the 5s place or the 1s place, but it's easier and more efficient to group with the 1s place first, because we can end up with extra 5s and we won't be able to group them if they're already grouped. So to kind of go back and work. Now with this one, we're going to group together on base 5. So whenever there's 5 dots, we group them, not instead of just 10 as in base 10. Okay, so I'm going to group 5 dots here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to count out these 5 dots. I'm going to group them together. And I'm going to put that group of 5 into the 5 space. Now I'm going to count out 5 sets of 5 from the 5s place. Group those together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll take these ones.
I have a
together.
question real quick.
Yep.
Wouldn't it
one group
be,
of 25.
Wouldn't for the 40, wouldn't it be 8 dots in the 5 place? Or because with 4 it would only be 10, right?
Well, this 4 in the 4 3 base 5. So it's not 43 technically, because 43 means base 10. So that's why I'm trying to say 4 3 base 5, because the 4 means 4 groups of 5. The 3 are the 3 leftovers.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm putting 4 dots in the 5s column here.
Oh, okay. So all right. I understand it now. Thank you. Sorry.
No, great. That's a good question. Okay. And then when we record our that's the model. So that's our drawing. So we're gonna record our total here. There's one left over here, and I'm gonna circle with yellow. I have one in the yellow for the 25s column, one in the 5s column, and one in the 1s column, 2 in the 1s column. So when I record the number, I have 1, 2, and 2. Now 1, 2, 2 are all base 5 numbers because I've attenuated to grouping 5s together. Okay? So that's how you show addition with the chip model. Okay? I'm going to summarize it by saying 43 base 5. Sorry, 43 base 5 plus 2 4 base 5 is equal to 1 2 2 base 5. Okay? So that's the first example. I'm going to show how to use this. The other thing that you're going to practice is with base blocks. They're very similar to this. So I'm going to show 43 base 5 plus 2 4 base 5. Now to add those with base blocks. So they're not base 10 blocks. We're going to call them base 5 blocks. So put 5 in parentheses, but they're called base blocks. Okay. Now when you're doing base 10 blocks or whatever base you're working in, whenever you're using base blocks, you got to tell the key. What block refers to which number, what place value? Okay. So in your homework, tell your key here. As we can see from the chip model, I'm using leftovers. I'm using 5s and 25. So I only need 3 places. Okay. But if I needed to get to 4 places, that's how much we can model with our base blocks. So the big cube is going to represent the 125's place. The flat is going to represent the 25's place. So that's 5 cubed, 5 squared. Okay, so that might help you with the cubes and stuff. The rod is going to represent the 5's place, or 5 to the first. And then we have our dot, or the little cube, will represent the leftovers, the 1's place. Or the 5 to the 0 power place. Okay, so that's our key. Is everybody good on that one? Okay. Now, if this rod right here technically only has 5 little cubes in it, so it's a short rod. Okay, it doesn't have 10 cubes in it, and this flat is a little square. Okay. So they're smaller. Base blocks with base 5 are smaller than the base 10 blocks, but they'll work the same, and that's why I'm representing them this way, in the same way, because they'll work the same, and it'll still be not a big jump in knowledge to model this. So 43 base 5, I have 4 groups of 5, 3 leftovers. So here's my 5s right here with this rod. Okay. And I'm going to model it with 4 rods. Okay, so I'm doing 4 3 base 5, 3 dots, which represent the little cubes. Okay. That's 4 3 base 5. Then I'm going to model the 2 4 base 5 now. 2 4 base 5. I'm going to group them together. Notice that I'm not using any symbols, okay? I'm putting some right here that you can think about, like this is an aside you want, just to know, so you know which numbers they are. But with my model itself, there are no symbols, and I'm not going to put any additions or subtractions or multiplication symbols in it. I need to show essentially, by definition, what is going on when we add. So adding is grouping together. So I'm going to use grouping by little loops around the things that are important. and I'm going to exchange. In this case, since I'm working with base 5, every group of 5 I exchange with the next level. So we count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these little cubes I'm going to exchange for a rod. Okay. And I'm going to group 5 rods together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm grouping these rods together, and they're going to make a flat. Okay. And that's all of the grouping I can do when I add these numbers together. Okay, so what do I have? Well, I have 1 flat, 1 rod, and 2 cubes. Okay. And in summary, with going back to more abstract numbers, using the digits to show this, I have a 1 flat, 1 rod, and 2 cubes, base 5.
Can you have 2 rods? Because there's one next to the green circle.
Excellent. That's why I'm outlining this for you, and I'm testing it for you. See if you guys catch my mistake, or test. Yes, that's it. There you go. Good job. And that's why we also do the chip model. In the homework, you'll do the chip model and the base block model with the same numbers, so you can catch those types of things and see how it all works out. So thank you for that. Let's put 2 here. And so in summary, we have 43 base 5 plus 24 base 5 is equal to 122 base 5. Okay. Now, what kinds of other numbers? Well, we can get bigger numbers. And we have 7 minutes. So we'll do bigger numbers real quick. And then we'll go to decimals. Okay. So I'll go a little bit faster here, since that's the principles are the same, but I'm increasing my numbers so you see how it plays out with the models. So we want to add those two with the chip model. Okay. Now with this chip model, I have hundreds or powers of 7 here. So let me start here with the ones place, 7 to the 0, or the leftovers. I'm going to move that around a little bit more. So I can remember what my numbers. Okay. Then after the 7s, after the 1s place, or the leftovers, we have the 7s place, which is 7 to the 0 power. And then after the 7s place, we have the 49s place. Okay, 7 squared. And so I have 3 places in my problem, but it looks like the 6 and 3 will make 9, which is above 7. So I need to plan for the next level, which I'm forgetting which it is. So we do 49 times 7. That's equal to 343. Okay, so this is the 343's place, or the 7 cubed. All right, so we got all our places set up to add these 2 numbers together. Now we have to model the numbers. So we have 6, 4, 5, all base 7. So in this part right here, 645 base 7. Okay. The next one, I'm going to model 362 base 7 with 3 in this column, 6 in that one, and 2 in this one. Okay. So this number right here is 362 base 7. Now the grouping part is kind of cool, how it works out. So I'm going to work with base 7. So I need to group every 7 dots together. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This entire ones column is going to be grouped together to be one group of 7 there. So I have no leftovers in my answer. Let's count out more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And I have 4 left, so that means I can't make another group of 7. So I'm going to put one group of 7 there, or another group of 7 sevens, and into the 49's place. And that number actually looks like 219 for some reason. Now we're going to go and group 7 of these together. Okay, and that, because these right here, they will have one group of 7 cubed, or 343. All right, so we have some leftovers here. What's our answer? Well, we have one of these, 3 of these. Watch me on this one, folks, because I missed one earlier. Okay, and there's none of the leftovers. Okay, so what do we have left? We have 1 in this column. We have 3 in this column. We have 4 in this column. And we have none in this column. So when I add those together in summary, that's all base 7, 645 base 7 plus 362 base 7 is equal to 1340 base 7. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? You guys are like so impressed and amazed, I can tell. Just love this stuff.
So, and you can turn all of these into base 10, right? Just for like regular numbers.
Yeah, if you were to do chip models in base 10, you just write the places and you group by 10s.
So if I wanted to turn that 1340 into like an actual number, I would just times it by 7, right?
If you're converting from a base other than 10 to base 10, each of these places, if you recall from earlier in the chapter, earlier in the unit, that's the leftovers, so that's the 1s. That's the 7's place. So you have to take that number 4 and multiply by 7. This is the 49's place. Take that 3, multiply by 49. This one right here is the 343's place.
Oh, okay.
Take that number times 343. Then you add them all together.
Okay. I forgot that step and I was confused on it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to add these together with base blocks. So base 7 blocks. Okay. So we have, so we're going to use the key here because I'm working in base 7. My big cube was just like up here, 343's or 7 cubed. Okay, so it's going to be a 343's place. My flat is going to correspond to the 49's place, or 7 squared. Okay, so this is good to write out so you can sort out in your brain. The rod is going to correspond to the 7's place, or the 7 to the 1st power. And my dot, which represents a little cube, is going to correspond to the 1's, or the leftovers, 7 to the 0 power. Okay. And I'm going to do 645 base 7. So that's 3 places. And then that means I use the dot for the cube, the rod for the 7's, and the flat for the 49's. Okay, so I need to draw 6 of these flats for 645. Okay, so I draw 6 flats here. And then I draw 4 rods, and I draw 5 dots. Okay, I'm going to move all this over. That's as much as I need there. This number right here is the 645 base 7. Then I'm going to add 362 to it. So I'm going to put them, in my drawing, I'm put the flats next to each other, 362, the rods there, and then 2 dots there. Okay, so we put them together, and then we group away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's same as the chip model, but I'm exchanging these little cubes for a rod. Okay, and continue on in grouping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I exchange these rods, these 7 rods, for a flat. And then continuing grouping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I exchange these 7 flats for a big cube. Okay. And then this is what I have left, a big cube, 3 flats here, 4 rods here, and no leftovers. So there's no single cubes there. Okay, so that's 1, 3, 4, and 0, base 7. Okay, so in summary again, we have 645, base 7, plus 362, base 7, is equal to 1340, base 7. All right, so we are at 2 minutes over time, but I want to just, hopefully you guys can bear with me for a couple minutes, but if you need to go, you can. This is being recorded, and then I'll post this. But I want to do a decimal example because that's in the homework. And so it should only take a couple minutes. And we're going to add 3.12 base 4 plus 2.33 base 4. You can add these together because you know the structure of mathematics. So we're going to do it with chip model first. So I need to diagram my places. Okay, so all I have is ones, and since the 3 and the 2 will get into the fours place, let me just do fours here. So the fours place, which is 4 to the first. We have the ones place, which is 4 to the 0, or leftovers. We will have a place that is 4. Now I'm counting back 1, 4 to the first, 4 to the 0 power. I have more places on the side of the decimal that I need. So let me put my decimal here. I'm going to do it in red because this is where my decimal is. After the ones place, you have a decimal. Okay. And I have 2 places into my decimals. Now decimals, you take the power and you just keep going in the pattern. So here was 4 to the first, 4 to the 0, and the next place will be 4 to the negative 1. Okay. Now 4 to the negative 1 power is going to be 1 over 4. Okay. So you have the 1 over 4's place, which with base 10 is like 1/10th place. Okay. The 10th place. So base 10, I would write 1/10 here, but we don't have that. We're doing base 4. Okay. And then we have 4 to the minus 2. Okay. So in the pattern, you have negative 2, which is 1 over 16. And so you have the 1 over 16's place. So let's go ahead and model this. The modeling is still the same, even though these are getting crazy places. Okay. I'm going to erase this here and put that decimal down here. So this is my decimal place. I'm going to label that as a decimal point. Okay. All right, so we have 3 here in the ones place. Oops, my decimal point is not there. Sorry about that, folks. It's over here after the ones place, because you have, before you get to any parts. That one. Okay, so I have 3 chips in this place, 1 chip here, and 2 chips here. The bundling will be the same, even though places are labeled in a different way. And then that's my 3.12 base 4. And then I have 2 decimal 3, 3 base 4. Okay, now I'm going to group them together. Okay. Every time I see 4, I group them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it into the next place over. Every time I see 4, I'm going to group them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that and put it into another group here. So I'm checking for more groups of 4, but I only see 1 in each one so far. Okay, groups of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Group them together. Okay. So when I'm done, I have 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, and 1 here that are not grouped. So that's the amount in each place. So we have 1, 2, 1, 1, base 4. Now the decimal I carry down, there's my decimal point here, carry it down here, and I put it here. Okay. In summary, I have that 3.12 base 4 plus 2.33 base 4 is equal to 12.11 base 4. Okay. Okay, so last thing, you guys can feel free to go if you need. We can do this with the base blocks. Base 4 blocks. Okay. Now our key, you need to make a key. We have like places, we have 3 places total. And with base blocks, we can do 4 places with this kind of model. Okay, so this will be the, this one will be the, we'll do this, the, up here we have 4's place. Okay, so that's the 4's place, 4 to the 1. Okay. This flat is going to correspond to the 1's place, 4 to the 0, or the leftovers. I need to get down to 2 places past the decimal, so I need 2 more sets here. So that's the flat, sorry, the rod is corresponding to the 1/4 place, which is 4 to the -1. The little cube corresponds to the 1/16 place, which is 4 to the -2. Okay, so I need this many places. That's why I need a little cube to be in the lowest place value. And so the lowest place value was the 1/16 place. And then we have everything going up from there. So it's important to put your key down. And on the homework, it might be different. They might only go to the 4th place. All right, so we're going to model our numbers. 3.12. 3.12 base 4, only 3 flats. And I need 1 rod, 2 little dots. Okay, this is the 3.12 base 4. Then we need 2.33. So we need 2 flats, 3 rods, 3 dots. This one right here is the 2.33 base 4. Okay, and then combining is the same as above. Well, every time we see 4, we combine together. And we exchange those for the next model up. Okay. Okay, so counting out 4 rods, they make a flat. Counting out 4 flats, they make a big cube. So in the end, I have 1 big cube, 2 flats, 1 rod, and 1 little cube. Okay, so that makes 1, 2, 1, 1. Decimal is going to be right here. Base 4. And again, in summary, we have 3, 1, 2, 3 decimal 1, 2 base 4 plus 2.33 base 4 plus or equals 1, 2.11 base 4. Okay, that's all we got. Done. Any questions?
I didn't have any questions on the base blocks or breaking them down, but I had a question on the homework. So if nobody had like any other questions.
Yeah, so anybody else have any questions on the lesson? Okay. All right. Got some of these. I'll post these resources up and hope you guys have a great day and let me know if there's anything else.